there is often a disconnect between our beliefs and our experience. Why is that? Because I think a lot of our experiences in Christianity have come through the religious system and the programming that we've received. And our belief system has been programmed into certain criteria that tie that criteria to love, and particularly in terms of when you're looking at unconditional love, puts conditions on it. Our religious programming often makes it difficult to experience unconditional love, as we associate God's love with religious conditions, duties, obligations, obedience, works, behaviors. And that's often emphasized by the different church streams we may be part of, and they may have particular emphasis on certain aspects of behavior or conditions or belief systems. But obviously, God wants us to fully embrace the reality of the freedom that there is in knowing unconditional love and experiencing it and living like it. Now, that being said, over the last month or so, I've been thinking a lot about unconditional love and the reality of it. And from God's perspective, and from my perspective in experiencing God's unconditional love, I'm fairly clear what that's like and what it is to experience that. But I don't really believe that any of us, if you have, then that's awesome, have really experienced unconditional love from other people, or truly given unconditional love from a human's perspective, because it's very difficult to be completely unconditional. Therefore, it's difficult to know and experience God's love, that unconditional love, because we don't really know what it is for fully. Now, I've gone into it a lot, and sometimes it's still something you have to really begin to engage and go into. But for a lot of us, when we haven't experienced it from a human perspective, then receiving it from God doesn't really compute in the same way. So what is the truth in terms of unconditional love? And I think God obviously wants us to know the truth and experience the truth. Well, God so loved the world, he gave. And I think unconditional love is about giving. God created us so that he could give us that unconditional love so we could experience him. He didn't create the world to be worshipped. He didn't create us so that we would give him what he needed, because he's God. He didn't need anything in that sense. But his desire is to share the relational aspect of who God is, and that is in love. And Jesus came as the express image of God, the Father, to demonstrate love and to call us to love one another as he'd loved his disciples. So Jesus came to serve and not be served, he said. And I think there's an element, again, that unconditional love is not looking for something, but looking to give something. So loving unconditionally is about giving, not receiving. Yet it may be really difficult not to put conditions on others in what we expect in being loved. And therefore, if we do have an expectation or a condition on what we think love is from others, then we can get hurt or frustrated when they fail to meet our expectations. And God doesn't have expectations on us that makes him frustrated. He's fully aware of who he has made, and he's not holding us to conditions to meet so that he'll love us. He wants us to experience and know his love in an unconditional way.